Welcome and welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. To those that might be new, I'm going to suggest that you do not start at this video and you come back at a later date if you are here and you are not ready to receive something that is really heavy in its nature. I think I've been avoiding this for some time. I've been really having to gear myself up to be at this level of disclosure again. It has been a really trying 24 hours, I want to say, everyone, but I'm going to share a little bit more of that after I finish reading this channeling for you all. So I channeled this in late into the evening last night with MJ, a fractal of their energy, and I knew that this was coming. Last week I think this was supposed to be the message, but I just wasn't in the capacities to be able to hold. But today I feel like it's the right time, but it's been difficult to sit with. It's been difficult to be in this energy again, if I'm honest with you, everyone. But I'm going to share a little bit more after I've read this channeling, and there is no way to make this easier. There is no way to make this level of disclosure easier, and I really wish that there was. I'm really going to try and read this without crying, but I've already erupted into tears at least 5 times before sitting down for you all today, so I'm going to do my best. I think that there is a layer of deep upset that MJ Love is feeling, having to share this truth, and there is no way to make this lighter for them either. And it's an interesting understanding to be able to sit between where I find myself in this present given time, but also where they find themselves in their energy, and the aspect that steps forward that is very human in their expression with regards to sharing this information and, you know, feeling horrifically ashamed and not wanting to let people down. And this is a feeling that I felt before with other souls that I brought forward, fractals of their energy. So if you would like to delve in a little bit deeper with this, there are many other souls that I brought forward in our playlist that you can go and delve into as well. But I think that's all I want to say before reading this channeling, everyone. It is a lengthy one. Obviously, it's going to be a challenging one. So brace yourselves if you are not prepared to hold space for this today. You know, do not feel like you have to witness this at all. But this is part of the process, and I'll explain a little bit more about that too once I've read this channeling. But today's channeling from MJ Love was titled "It's Tough," and they started with, "Thank you for being here. We are going to delve into my life in ways some may feel unsettling. Please know that there isn't a part of me that isn't ashamed of what I became. There's a part of me that wishes that I could erase the aspects of me that they took over. Once you are part of them, it's all downhill. I didn't know that I wasn't strong enough to fight it. A part of me had given in. I let them take over, just crawl in, and they don't leave. In my heart, not at any point in my life did I ever think about children in a sexual manner. That wasn't me. This isn't me. And what was told of me isn't the full truth. There were children that I was allowed to be close to. There were children that wished to be as close as they could with me. I wasn't able to see that that was wrong. I felt like a child inside. I was broken. I wasn't there to hurt anyone. I wasn't there to try and make them be a part of their sordid game. That's not what exactly happened. In the moments where I cross the line, it's like I left the building. Energies seep into you that take over, and you are no longer in control. It's an uncontrollable urge that you can't resist. Please know I'm not sharing this to condone my behavior, but to allow for you to understand just how deeply this all goes. You aren't able to see what you are doing is wrong or have done. At no point did I end a child's life. I want to make this impeccably clear. But I was used to siphon their energies in other ways. Not every child that was in my care was abused. But there were some that I was aligned with to make sure that they did as we wanted. I recruited many. I was a pathway into the lights, into the behind the scenes for more to become a part of their play. It makes me sick to my stomach to know and to see it all. I hope that you can forgive me, can believe me when I tell you nothing of my being wanted to harm a child. I saw every living creature as one in the same. All I wanted was to play and have fun. I wanted to share what I created with others. I wanted others to witness my wonderland. I want all to know that not every child that I came into contact with was harmed, only those that had the bloodlines that they wanted. It was a way to get in. This is how they do it. They create a pathway in the mind, in the fractures, to make you susceptible to control. Just like me, I was broken down to be obedient. It's much deeper than one might imagine. It's in the medicine you are given. By now you must have all heard of the pill-popping celebrities. What if I told you it's all a part of the play? Have this doctor, take these meds for performance, stamina on stage. They are just vitamins. Vitamins that you become dependent upon. Vitamins that make you something that you once were not. But by then it's too late. It's already been taken. It's in you. You are a part of the hive. No part of my true being was conscious for the times that I hurt others. I was blank, gone, lost in the swirling energies of darkness. This is not easy for me to relay, and please know that behind the scenes I'm doing and have been doing everything I can to repent. Any child that was harmed in my care is being given the life that they deserved in the next. They are healing. They are being given the antidotes that they need to heal themselves. I know this doesn't make up for all that I've done, but it's the start. I wanted to share my story, my confession, as I know many have been wondering, questioning, was I a monster? Believe me, I was, but it wasn't of my conscious doing. Like I said, I was a pawn, I was a cog, a wheel to be taken down. I rebelled, that's what you all didn't see. My hiding was a rebellion. I said no to the system, so they came after me in ways which they knew would kill me, every now and again. Being given the ways in which I had harmed, blackmailed, we will show the world. They told you all enough to kill me, just enough to have me living in fear. My last performances are part of the play, part of the show. Dance or you will fall. I didn't know that my time was coming when it did. Stories of me being still alive, stories of me still being alive and well, to some degree true. My essence has been used to create many that you see today on your stages. They have a part of me in them. Because I was the first to fall so hard. I was outed for a reason, not only to punish me, but to set the tone. Resist, and this will be how you end up. So look around. How obedient and wild has the world become, has celebrity culture become, since I was on a stage the first time in the early years. You can almost lay it out in the years on a calendar. It was me, and then it all became black. And I feel like there is just a part of me that holds so much anger for this level of understanding that we have, and I really feel like I had to take a massive step back from this level of disclosure for some time, because it does get you to breaking point to be able to understand and to see and to witness and things that I'm told behind the scenes and I visioned. And you know, this has been the entirety of my life, and it wasn't until setting up for you all today that I realized that I've been very close to all of this from such a young age. And this is something that I've shared before at some point in this journey, and I'd forgotten myself, but I would have really strong visions as a child of really horrific things happening to children, and I couldn't understand it. For the longest time I thought that I was evil. I thought that I thought that I'd gone mad, and it didn't make sense to me, and I didn't share it with anyone. I think it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I shared some things that I was seeing, you know, with my parents or my mum specifically, and you know, she would just say perhaps it was something that you've watched, etc. But I knew that it wasn't. I felt like it was something that was coming from inside of me. And now, knowing what I know about myself and my soul and the spaces that I've been in and the spaces that I continue to be in, I realized that's when I had to really make a huge decision for myself. And I thought, behind the scenes, I'm connected to all of this. This is what I do on a daily basis. I'm on mission saving children from this paradigm and others, from the harm of these negative reptilians that we know and other beings out there, siphoning their energy. And if you are here for the first time, you have no idea what I'm speaking on, I would suggest that you do your own research. But there is a layer to this world where energy is siphoned. There is a layer to this world where the essence of a child is considered the most sacred for, you know, the most obvious reasons. These pure souls that come down to earth, and, you know, they want to take their life force energy, and that's something that they feed upon, and that's something that they do, which is why I agreed to step forward, you know, with my fellow Light Renegades, Anna Maria and Cabello, at this level of disclosure. When I very first started to awaken, I was told that I wasn't going to be a part of this expression, and you know, lo and behold, that wasn't the truth. But they had to get me there slowly, because it takes a lot to be able to sit and witness this and accept it. So it's been really difficult and actually really quite jarring, and I think attests to my resilience, being able to sit with MJ in this, because I've been doing a lot of real deep inner child healing and work again, and really letting them lead, to be able to switch from that energy into this again. It took a lot. It took a lot to be able to sit with them. And, you know, I have a layer of compassion for these souls, because to be able to sit in that energy and know that they didn't choose this. there is a layer of them that was completely coerced into this expression, and they too have just been a massive pawn in this play. And there was many times on this journey where I've just been absolutely livid, seething, seeing absolute red for so many celebrities, because I know their game, I know their pathway, and I can see it so clearly. And it's not until I think that I take a step back and truly see that, some of these souls really haven't chosen this path. They have been chosen. And it's really difficult to wrap one's head around. And I know that some find this work to be complicit of the crimes that some have committed. And if that's what you believe, then you're well within your rights to think that, but that's not the seat that I sit from. I have compassion for souls that wish to try and make amends, and the things that I see behind the scenes is that they are being given the opportunity to make amends, and they are there helping those souls that they did harm, one way or another, with other teams of light helping them in this aspect, because there is a layer of every soul that deserves to be able to see the light again. And I don't believe that is the truth that they get sent to darkness and they stay there. I think that times have shifted, energies have shifted. I think that they have to repent somewhere. Of course they do. That's what I've witnessed. At least there was a whole series in this that I did alongside when I brought forward Jeffrey Epstein again, J Love, what he wished to be called. And at that time, if I hadn't been able to see this soul completely screaming somewhere, and to understand that when you are at breaking point, there is a layer within you that this energy can infiltrate. And I felt it, and I've experienced it for a lot of this lifetime, and it just completely consumes every inch of your being. And we're all complicit to it in some way, because we all fall for these traps that they have set before us, with regards to the media, with regards to how we feel about ourselves and about how we wish to live our lives. Every inch of this life has been taught to us on their paradigm. And I think the minute that you understand that is when the world becomes, one, a very scary place, but also a place that feels like, okay, there is something within me that I didn't understand before. But to see it, I think you either go one way, you are terrified, or you want to fight it. And I think I felt both at the exact same time for a lot of this journey. So I hope that in witnessing this, in understanding what these souls go through, you have a little bit more compassion in your heart. And I didn't understand what we were doing over here in the Light Renegade space. For the longest time, I just thought, I don't understand this. There was a layer that I wasn't supposed to understand it, because that was part of my repentance too, this lifetime, but part of my karma as well. But then looking back from the other side of the spectrum and seeing that, to be able to know the world to this level, and then to have compassion for these souls that step forward and wish to be witnessed, this is when we are creating this new paradigm that we wish to step into. And this idea of, creating heaven on earth, nirvana on earth, whatever you want to call it, is very real and true. We are creating new pathways for us to step into. For some time in this space, we've all been closing down timelines together. So I hope that you can feel that everything has shifted. I hope that you've been feeling into the quantum shifts that you have already been experiencing, because I've been assured that everyone that has been following this space, you have quantum leaped in your lifetime, because you decided to sit with this disclosure. And there was not one way to be able to move through this life, this path, but I know that each soul here, we had this as a soul contract to be together this lifetime, to do this work together. So I have the utmost amounts of love and respect for each and every one of you here, because I know that it's not easy. And to just live life every single day knowing this truth and fighting for what we know is right, it takes its toll. And I was really feeling that toll. So I had to step away. I had to say no to this level of disclosure day in, day out, because it was breaking me. I'm a soul that's very sensitive to all of this, and I'm already working at it in other realms, space and time. So it was a lot to say yes to. And, I've decided to take a different pathway in this lifetime, because I feel like to be living it 24/7 is just too much for me. So, let yourself have that out too. If you feel like this level of disclosure is not something that you want to be partaking in anymore, you've done your service just by knowing it, just by accepting it and seeing it for what it is, and saying, okay, I know that this is out there, and, however I can share my light, send my light is enough. And if that is as much as you want to do, that is more than enough. Sitting there, thinking of these children, sending them prayers, sending them love, that's all we need to do. And I think this goes to every aspect of life that we find challenging. I don't really delve into the media, because I know that that's all part of their play too, to keep us at a low vibration, to be sat in these energies over and over and over. It keeps us in a low vibration. And Anne Marie and myself, sat with this idea of the Light Renegade space, and we said, we don't want to be perpetuating that cycle, because we could see it so clearly too. So after this channeling, I think there might be a couple more from MJ, from Love, that they wish to share, but I put a cap on that. I don't want to be doing disclosure in this way anymore, because I don't find it helpful for me, and I don't think it's helpful for the rest of us either. I think there were some souls that did want to step forward, and they're going to share their voice in a very different way. And I had to make amends with that, because I think there was a layer of me that just wanted to keep fighting. And in my heart, I knew that I couldn't, because it was just tearing me apart, because there was a space within me that I have to sink to be able to receive this information also, that, I've been clawing my way out on for some time. So go easy on yourself with this disclosure. I know that there is a lot out there to be consuming day in, day out. And, it's almost like it can become just a gossip space too. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't becoming that as well. So thank you for witnessing, thank you for being here, but give yourself some slack as well within this space, and consume content that makes you feel good. And I think that that's the most important thing. I want to be doing things in my life that feel good, because I know there's spaces that I go into that don't feel good. And even last night, I was propositioned again by Calvin, Mr. C, and he said, would you come and back and fight with us again? We have something going on. And of course I said yes. So I had some pretty weird dreams last night. There was a pretty funky energy before going to sleep last night. So, I pay my dues where I need to and where I can in other spaces, and so many of you souls here do that too. So just be aware of that. And if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling weary, know that there is a lot happening at all times. There is always many battles, many wars being fought, and that's for our benefit. So the best thing that we can do, in Teams of Light specifically said this, you said, this is your choice. And a few weeks ago I said to you all that, I was having to make some pretty big decisions of my life, and I made them. And I thought, I'm doing enough in other spaces. I don't need to bring the darkness into my paradigm here. I want to step away from that as much as I could. And the darkness feels safe to me. I know it inside out, at the levels of disclosure that I've been in already this lifetime. I lived it for a lot of my lifetime, and I thought, I can go in and I can help others face this darkness, but I can't stay there, because it doesn't feel comfortable to me anymore. And I wanted to say that if you find yourself in a tricky space right now with regards to this disclosure, what was I given? I was given an understanding of fluorite. So before I sat down, I saw this fluorite crystal, and I thought to myself, I always see this crystal as getting to the next layer of a game. I see this as like, the final crystal that you pick up before you enter the next level. And I think this is a deeper message to some. If you are here and you're receiving this for the first time, this is as much disclosure as you need to delve into. You have now unlocked this next aspect of you that you are now stepping into. So cut yourself some slack and give yourself some grace, because I think there is much more work for you to do here, and a much lighter way for you, but you have to accept it. You have to choose that for self. And I battled with myself day in, day out. I was like, am I slacking off? I'm being a light worker here. Should I just be continuing with this level of disclosure? And I thought, no, I'm already doing everything that I need to. And when things are brought into my awareness that I feel like I'm able to hold capacity for, I will. And with that being said, I did want to create a space for question and answers with Calvin. Interview with a Vampire, the series that I did, and I know that some wanted to be a part of that, and I completely forgot about it, and Calvin brought that to my attention last night. So I think in October I'm going to create a space for you to have a Q&A with Calvin as well. If that feels in alignment for you, please do email me, and I'll make sure to add you to that. But I will put a post out when it's time to perhaps create that space as well. And I want to say that you can tap into these souls as energies that I've already brought forward. So many of you have been doing, and you've been sharing your experiences with me, which has been incredibly beautiful for me to witness. And I'm grateful for each and every soul here that has been sharing their light, sharing this level of disclosure with me, and we've all been creating this light space together. And I promise you, every single thing that I've shared has been with great purpose, and for the longest time it didn't make sense to me too, but now I can see and I can feel exactly the pockets of light that we were creating. So please sink into those. Give yourself the grace of saying, okay, perhaps I know enough now. And the minute that it starts to tip into the edges and into the expressions of, this is making me not feel so good, that's when you have to step away. Light worker or not, whatever you consider yourself to be here, earth angel, star seed being, multidimensional, whatever that is to you, you have to make sure you are looking after yourself. And for some time I was out of balance with that too, and now only coming full circle in that expression do I understand it to its deepest capacity. So don't fall into that trap either, because it's only going to be you that can pull yourself out, everyone. But I think that best be all for myself today, and MJ and Love. And of course they are absolutely crippled by knowing the full truth of their expression, and it's incredibly heartbreaking to me to think that they were just part of this massive play that they have going on, and they were as an example to others. And I found it really interesting that MJ ended on the sentence with you can almost lay it out in the years on a calendar. It was me, and then it all became black. And I think this is going to be something that we continue into the next message with. I had a lot coming forward in that space and time with regards to DNA and specific bloodlines, as MJ mentioned in this channeling as well. So I've asked for more information on that. I know that this was part of what Calvin Mr. C wanted to bring forward as part of the interview with the vampire series, and we were told that we couldn't, but I'm hearing that we can, but in a very different way with regards to this, because we're kind of looking at a different aspect, everyone. So there is going to be more of an expansive of this message to help you understand why and what has been going on at a deeper capacity, and what we've been doing here as well, because I think some have had questions about that. So I'm asking more. I'm going to try and retrieve more when I can, but we are having to take this step by step, everyone. I'm still towing the line of what some consider to be not living by the law, but as I've said, I went through a whole court understanding of that behind the scenes, so I've been acquitted of that. So I'm trying my best, but we're having to tread carefully right now so that they don't just put all of this to a complete shutdown, everyone. So please bear with me. I'm trying my best. I'm sharing as much as I can. I am a lot more over on Instagram at the moment on the Awakening Starr. If you want to follow me over there, it is in the description below. And as I've said before, I have created 2 other channels. So if you would like to receive those, please do email me. Leave your emails in the comments and I'll post those over to you. Because I'm kind of delving into aspects that are more of the energy of what I'm going to be stepping into moving forward after we put an end to this level of disclosure over here in the Light Renegade space. But so much love for myself, Anna Maria and Cabello. We are elated that we even created this space and we have managed to succeed in our mission already. So behind the scenes, I'm so incredibly proud, so incredibly grateful of every single soul here. But please know I'm here to support you in any way that I can. And you deserve it. I want to say you deserve happiness. So please, please, please do seek that happiness, because that's exactly what I've been doing. I was like, good of all, harm to none, but I have to reach for gold, what I consider to be gold this lifetime for me in terms of my happiness and my stability. And you all deserve that too. So don't suffer in silence. Do not think you have to be a martyr and suffer all of this. I too fell into that trap thinking that as well, putting everyone else before me. And at some point, I came to breaking point, and Teams of Light said, yeah, this was a deep lesson that you were having to learn. And I'm slowly clawing myself back to a space of, well, I think I've already done it, to be honest, everyone. I'm now able to be reaching those high heights of expression for myself, and I'm eternally grateful. And I know that so many of you have just been sharing your love with me, and I hope that you've been able to receive that love from me as well. But I'm here in any way that I can support you, and any souls that I've been bringing forward as well, please know that they're there to support you as well. And it's a really beautiful experience to be able to see this come full circle, and to be able to sit with souls that I've been speaking to for a real long time, and to know that through this disclosure they are lighter too, and they've been gone on, they've reincarnated, parts and fractals of their soul reincarnated, and they are happier, they are lighter, their soul is lighter, and we're able to do that because of the work that we've been doing here. So please know that every inch of you being here has not been in vain. Every bit that you felt behind the scenes has not been in vain. It's to help all of us, because like MJ says, we all are one and the same. But I will share a little bit more with regards to MJ's energy being fractaled and siphoned off, because I think I'd come to this conclusion already without them having this level of understanding with me. And yeah, it's confirmed a lot for me. So I'm going to share a little bit more on that as well when the timing is right, everyone. So yeah, please hold off on questions. If you would like to ask me any questions, ask MJ any questions, please feel free to email me. That is completely okay. But I'm going to try and answer all the questions that I feel that do step forward. Because this is going to be the last space of this. I'm trying to get in as much information as I can to be able to give to you, so that we can close us all off at a well-rounded space and have as much information that I've left question marks with for some time. So it's going to be, you know, a step by step, as I say, but please know that I'm hearing the questions, I'm receiving them, and we are creating spaces to be able to give you all the information that you're asking on. But if there's anything pressing, you can reach me. My email is in the description as well, how to contact me directly. But that's all for myself and MJ today. You know, heavy heart with all of this disclosure, and please know we're fighting every day for every child that is harmed in this way. But please go well, please do take care of yourself, and I'll be back when it feels aligned again. Take care.